Alright, so we're at point 4 on our Absolute Beginner series for drums. So at this point, hopefully you've picked out some things to work on, you understand your rhythms and can execute them comfortably, and you also can play time, either away from your drum set or hopefully on your drum set. So now it's time to get serious and look at our technique and make sure we're building good habits to move forward with. Let's look at each thing. First, we're going to talk about our grip. So if we're going to look at our grip, we want to go ahead and make sure we're holding our drumstick with these 2 fingers. I can get my hands on the camera. So when we hold our stick, we want to make sure it's between these 2 fingers and that the other fingers aren't grasping the stick. The stick needs to be able to move and wiggle around, and that's how we get better at playing faster over time. But the big thing is it needs to be able to move. It can't be stuck like this. Okay? So you want to hold onto the stick between your thumb and your index finger and give it room to where it can kind of wiggle. Now the other fingers, you don't want them to stick out. You want them to just kind of support the stick but not grasp it. Okay? And we want to do that with both hands and have them look basically the same. Now, some people use what we call a match grip where the wrists are down. Some will use a French grip where the wrists are sideways, and some people will kind of play in the middle. Right now, we're not too concerned about the exact grip, whether our wrists are down or sideways. It might be easier to go one way or the other with time, but for now we just want to make sure that we're really holding the stick to where it can move freely like that, okay? And then let's look at how we want to use that to actually play on surfaces. Alright, so if we're holding our sticks correctly, we should make sure our fingers are curled but not grasping, and that they're not sticking out, and that they're about the same. So whenever we hit a drum or another surface, we want the stick to rebound off. If you're going like this, that's not what we want to play. We want to keep our hands relaxed, and we want to let the stick rebound. Especially if we're playing fast. We don't want to go. It'll be way too hard to play fast. Our ultimate goal is to let the weight of the stick bring the stick down and let the surface that it hits bring it back up. So we're just kind of controlling what naturally happens. We also want to make sure that you're not pushing down a little bit and getting extra noise. One sound. I want it to bounce right off and not come back, not go. And sometimes it's easier to do it with one hand than the other, so make sure both your hands are the same, feel the same, look the same, sound the same. So next we want to look at our right foot and how we play on the kick pedal. So when you're playing your bass drum, you want to make sure your foot's not all the way up to where it's pushing against the chain. And you don't want to also be too far back. It's okay if your toe is about right here. So to start out, we want to make sure that we're mostly playing with our toe from our ankle like this. You don't want to stomp and have your foot completely leave the bass drum pedal, and you also don't want to stay on the whole time and just push in like that. So we want to stay light and kind of use our ankle to play. As time goes on, we'll learn different techniques and play different ways, different times, but a good place to start is just by pushing about 3/4 up the pedal with your toe.